Small Business Strategies, authored by Jeffrey Hurst, July 20th, 2016. How can new small business owners increase their chances of success when trying to start a new business? 4 strategies that can improve a small business owner's chances for success will be presented. Common denominators in successful small businesses, new business pitfalls to avoid, strategic advertising, and competing with big business. First off, what is small business, and how does it differ from big business? Small business is generally independently owned and operated, has a limited number of employees, and collects a low annual monetary revenue. Think of your local bakery or mom and pop store. Big business, on the other hand, brings in a very high annual revenue, is usually corporate owned and run, and employs a large number of people. Attempting to start a small business is understandably a daunting task, especially since, according to an article written by George Mitseros in April of 2016, over 50% of businesses will fail during their first year in business. But there is no need to be discouraged, because these strategies will help an entrepreneur succeed with his new business. The first strategy is to find common denominators in successful small businesses and emulate them. There are many different things that have helped past entrepreneurs succeed. So many, in fact, that it would be impossible to use them all. None of them are set in stone. What has worked for one businessman may very well not work for another. The best that can be done is to find positive characteristics that have worked for new businesses more times than they have not. According to an article written by Ty Kissel in 2014, 3 of the main attributes that an entrepreneur must have is a personal attachment to the business, a business that solves a market need, and a willingness to get their hands dirty. An example of a personal attachment to a business would be an entrepreneur that starts his business in the town that he grew up in and loves. But the business will still need to solve a market need. A business generally won't be that successful if it's providing a product that nobody wants. And lastly, new businessmen must be willing to get their hands dirty by doing the actual work of the business. The first strategy is to find common denominators and knowing what helps make businesses successful is great for knowing what a business owner should do, but what about what he shouldn't do? To know this, we need to look into why businesses fail in the first place. A lot of the time, a business will fail because of poor management, but it's not always a fault in the management. According to an article written for the Journal of Business and Entrepreneurship, business failures may result from economic factors which are operating at much more macro levels and which may be completely out of the hands of the entrepreneur. This is stating that business failure isn't always avoidable. A new business owner just needs to understand that sometimes failure due to the economy is unavoidable. For a business to be successful, it has to get its name out there. The primary means of doing this is through advertising. Advertising is what businesses use to promote or sell something. There are many different advertising strategies and methods, i.e. newspapers, the television, radio, word of mouth, and many others. But nowadays, in such an internet-reliant society, online advertising has become one of the most reliable forms of advertisement. Think of all the ads that fill every site found on the internet. Online advertising is everywhere on the internet. In 2014, an experiment was conducted with 1.6 million people. The experiment measured the effects of online advertising. According to the experiment, advertising profitability increased purchases by 5%. 93% of the increase happened in actual stores rather than online shopping sites, and 78% of the increase came from consumers that never even clicked on the online advertisement. In an online world, online advertising is a must for a new business. For a business to be successful, it has to get. Starting up a small business can be an especially challenging venture when the business idea is in competition with a big business. Think about a businessman trying to start a small burger joint next to a popular burger franchise. How could he possibly hope to compete with the popularity of a much bigger business? How can he compete with the bigger business's lower prices and higher selection? Well, he can compete by doing three things. The first thing he needs to do is offer a unique service. He needs to give the consumer a reason to go to his business instead of a larger, possibly cheaper alternative. He needs to offer something that a customer cannot find anywhere else, whether that be a service or maybe a unique product. The next thing he needs to do is be personal. A businessman that interacts with his customers and builds a personal relationship with them will be sure that he can see them return for more. Loyal customers, like the regulars found at a local coffee shop every Sunday morning, are the staple of a successful small business. Finally, and possibly most importantly, a businessman needs to have a friendly business. A small business should give the customer the kind of personal, friendly, and fun experience that they cannot get at a larger business. A business journalist named Ben Grant wrote an article after interviewing 4 different successful small business owners that are actively in competition with larger businesses. One of the interviewees is Craig C. Powell, the CEO of a small web design company. When asked what he believes causes people to want to work with his more expensive small business rather than a cheaper large business, Powell replies, "People are seeing the benefits of having personal interaction with a company who cares about your project or business. When companies grow too large, they sacrifice having that connection with the customer." Starting up a small business can be a frightening task for a new entrepreneur, but having a solid business plan and strategy can greatly improve the chances of success. Knowing the common denominators in successful small businesses can help a businessman know what he should do, just as knowing why new businesses fail will show him what not to do. Also, strategic advertising can make or break a new business, especially online advertising. Lastly, a new business owner needs to be unique and friendly. If a new entrepreneur remembers to follow the lead of other successful businesses, use good management techniques, strategically advertise, and be unique and friendly, chances are he will have a successful small business.